G'day, Steve Morgan, Australian Bass Tournaments with Tom Slater from Daiwa. Works for the naming round, or the naming sponsor of the Daiwa BREAM Series. This was the Maui Jim round on the Hawkesbury River. And Tom, this is your new sort of home patch. Good to see you've cranked a win up, mate. How many years ago was it since you've won a qualifier?
A long time, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. Maybe the last time we had a qualifier at the Clarence, I believe.
That event, from memory, you won on Cranker Crabs.
Yeah, crabs and cranks on middle wall. Yep.
This event, you're number one. You won by only about 70 grams over Joe Darmody. And it was really a battle of washers versus upriver. You were fishing a long way up the river towards Spencer. Joe was fishing down in the washers in Broken Bay. 70 grams is not a lot of fish, is it?
No, and I know the one fish that got the job done, and it was about at 1 o'clock. So
really, so yeah, you always have to keep on fishing hard until the end because you never know when it's going to be your day in the sun. Take us through your 2 days. They were both bags over 4 kilos, so that consistent high bag is what you need to get the job done here in the Hawkesbury. But walk us through your day 1 and day 2, and maybe some of the techniques that you used.
Yeah, well, I didn't pre-fish on Friday. We're pretty busy at work at the moment, so I worked on Friday, but I was fine with that because I know I always go up the river. I either fish the washers or up the river. Hickson told me the washers weren't that good, so I was like, oh, that suits me, I'll go up the river then. So I went up to Spencer and just fished how I like to fish up there. So we had a perfect tide for that. It was a high tide in the morning, had a run-out tide all day. That's the perfect tide, I reckon, to fish upriver, and just fish deep with crabs on rock walls, and that's what got it done.
Is that that's the sort of structure you're looking for, is steeper rock walls?
I actually like the rock walls that have more kind of broken up boulders and stuff out of them.
Yep.
I find the real steep ones, your strike zone is very small. We were catching fish today on some spots maybe 30 or 40 metres off the bank,
yep.
Because that rock comes all the way out.
Yep.
So,
did you use any technology to find those areas, or do you just know them after losing crabs in them for years?
No, it's just I kind of try and find the little rock walls that I can't kind of get left alone. The big obvious ones, Spencer Rock Wall and all the obvious ones kind of get hit a lot. So I like to look for the little bits. I find it's easier to break them down because it's not a huge section of rock wall you have to find fish on. But you could see them on live, Hummingbird Mega Live, you could see there was just heaps of fish on this one wall that we were fishing. So we drifted it maybe 20 times today. Awesome.
So, and those fish would recharge, or the bigger ones would decide to bite at certain stages of the tide?
Yeah, I don't think you can actually make 2 casts exactly the same when the current's running that fast. So every time your lure's dragging over a different rock or a different boulder, so you can repeat those drifts over and over again.
Take us through the outfit that you use. You work for Daiwa and you have a bit to do with making of this rod. I'm pretty familiar with that rod, I think. What's that one?
Yeah, that's the one you actually inspired. It's the new version of the Infeet Z crab rod, we call it. So it's the 782 LFS ST, so it's a solid tip model now.
Yep.
So 7'8", it's got a really good backbone to it. I was fishing very heavy up the river with the big crab, so I could use the big hooks.
Yep.
You can see that hook's completely munted, that one.
Yep.
But PE 1.2 J-Braid Expedition, 14-pound J-Thread X-Link fluoro leader, the big crab, a Certate 2500, and the Infeet Z. And you pull really, really hard. We lost quite a few today, but you got to get them out of those rocks.
Interesting, when you're fishing the crabs with braid and leader rather than straight through fluorocarbon, you do need that cushioning in the system, and you can lean on them pretty hard with that thing.
Oh yeah, we definitely lent on them pretty hard. We pulled a lot of hooks today, just trying to get them out. Still got dusted up, I think, 3 times today.
Yep.
So.
Day 2 versus day 1, was it rinse and repeat for day 2, or did you make some adjustments that helped you keep those fish coming in?
No, pretty much the same. It was the tide was definitely slower today. It was a bit later, obviously. So it took us a little bit longer to get going, and we were dropping a lot of fish and pulling a lot of hooks. So it was kind of a bit stressful for the first kind of 4 hours of the session, but it kind of surprised me actually, because I did the last upgrade and I'm like, oh, I've actually got a pretty good bag now. I kind of thought it was not as good as yesterday, but each day at around 1 o'clock we'd run to Bar Point. And I got a crucial upgrade both days off Bar Point in the last half an hour. So,
well, it did come down to only grams in the end. Anyone that you want to thank for the win?
Yeah, obviously everyone at Daiwa, the crew there. We've got a really awesome team of people, and we're doing a lot of cool stuff. Guys at Maui Jim, they look after me as well as a lot of other people, and obviously big supporters of this event.
Yep.
Rob and Nathan there at Maui Jim. The guys at BLA, Humminbird Minn Kota. I think officially this will be the last tournament that the Four-Trex is ever on the Phoenix. So
spot lock for you.
Spot lock is incoming Wednesday next week, hopefully. So
you want to know what hits you, mate. You'll be looking up after you caught a fish and you'll be in the same spot.
I know, I had to idle back to the rock wall quite a few times this weekend. So.
Well, that's great, mate. It's good to see you finally shed the bridesmaids tag and got back in the winner's circle. Congratulations, Tom Slater. Great payday, all your own gear. The only thing Daiwa doesn't make is that bait right there, the cranker crab.
Yeah, it's pretty bloody good in the Hawkesbury, so credit to Steersy. It's definitely a big fish bait in this river.
Tom Slater, your winner, Maui Jim round.